Yeah, there you go.
Hello, my name is Babaji, and I'm here to present you a hot lap around Singapore by a very own Nomo Pro player. As we see him approaching Sector 1, Turn 1 specifically, he mounts all the curves, makes sure his car is straight, approaches the heavy traction zone of Turn 3, gets it correct, nails it perfectly, heading for Turn 5, where it's really difficult to maintain the speed. You need to carry as much speed as possible without hitting the wall, as you lose a lot of time if you don't. As we see him now head down into Sector 2. Sector 2 is still one of the most tightest sections on the track. You really need to be on it, you need to ride the curves, make sure you maximize your track limits. Turn 8 and 9 is a special pet peeve of mine, as it's really difficult to get the power on. You need to come in as wide as possible, carry the speed through these corners, avoid the walls. As we see now the Panchu head down into turn 10, 11, 12, the Anderson Bridge section. Car tends to understeer here. You want to apply as little throttle as possible. Maximize again your track limits, as we see him take a wide entry into the hairpin. Beautiful. And he gets a great exit as there's a decent enough straight ahead of him. And you see him now enter the third sector. Third sector is still much wider than sector 2, but that doesn't mean you slack off. You need to be on the power all the time. Maximize your track limits as we enter one of the first chicanes in the last sector. Try to mount as much as curb, maximize your exit, avoid the wall, and now we go into the we are approaching the final chicane now. You want to mount as much as curves as possible. Curves are king right now here. Maximize your exit as we head on for the final corner. This is a tricky one. You need to really carry the speed. You cannot be conservative at all, or you just might go wide or spin out. And that was a hot lap around Singapore. Brilliant driving by the Pancho.
Oh, what a lap on one of the most physically demanding circuits, not just in the real world, but in the sim world as well. Welcome to round 16 of Tier 1 to all the speedophiles after a thrilling quali in Abu Dhabi. Quite interestingly, we are here at the Marina Bay Sands. The first night race started off in 2008, and I'm pretty sure all the drivers are ready and pushing to go. But before that, I'd like to introduce my co-commentator, Madhav Shalalak, leading Tier 2. Let's please jinx him. But alongside him, we have a new streamer today. We've got DJ. DJ, does that make you DJ squared? Say hello, boys.
Yeah, hi. Some terrible jokes right there.
Yeah, forgive me for that, but you'll have to put up with me, Rusty Nish, for the rest of the night as we go around with the Tier 1 boys. Very interesting circuit. Madhav?
Yeah, definitely one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging. It's a very tight street circuit, highest number of corners around the corner. It requires a lot of concentration, and as a driver, I think it's the most demanding circuit.
Absolutely agree with you. Turn 13 always gets me. I take my eye off for 1 second and I'm into the wall at turn 13. But I'm pretty sure all of our Tier 1 boys are going to be much well prepared and better than me. But so I think it's about time we hop on and see what kind of quality times they're setting.
Yep.
DJ, can we move to the game? Yep, as you see. So any predictions for quali, Madhav?
I think most of the grid should be on mediums, while some would just go on the softs and like try to be a hindrance sort of to
So
others.
I do have some insider information, and according to the count, at least 5 of them are looking to start on softs, and these 5 are more often than not going to be starting in the top 10. So that's going to be a battle of strategy as well today.
Yep, definitely.
Incredibly hard
It's
to overtake. We did see the track view, we did see the hot lap, but before we go there, as usual, Singapore is going to be sunny, is going to be a dry race for us today.
yeah. I mean, not really sunny. It's at night, but yeah, it's weather is clear. That's what.
After Monza, nice to have some clear weather. I, I I'm pretty sure Singapore in the wets is a nightmare.
We do get flashbacks from 2017, the start.
So, as the drivers are coming out, so since you are obviously putting in a lot of time into this game as you're challenging for the Tier 2 championship, so Lewis once said that one lap of Singapore drains as much as two laps of Monaco. Do you think that holds true for the sim racing as well?
Uh, yes, because in real life, probably yes, because it's the humidity in Singapore is so high that it feels like it's really hot there, and you just sweat so much in the car, and also it's so hot inside the car. I think I remember it was Massa from 2010, I believe. He lost 6 kilos of his own weight in the race.
Absolutely. But before we start covering the quali, let's quickly go through the standings, right? So we've obviously got a runaway driver in Mara, but with Masoom's recent form, he's not very far behind Trucker. He's only 29 points behind, and we are in round 16 now. So we have obviously got 8 more races, including this. So do you think Masoom is going to push Trucker for P2?
Yeah, we could potentially see a battle, but it's looking very tight between those two. And if Masoom can keep up with this consistency of results, then yeah, sure, he should be battling it out for the second place in the title.
Yep. Going into the race today, Masoom in much better form, but Prakhar we've seen from race one, he's been super consistent, bringing his car in the top five. But talking about the top before we go to the midfield battles, the last time around when we were in a street circuit, in Monaco, Marinello baby absolutely dominated. He almost had a pit stop on P2. Do you think we could see a similar performance?
I wouldn't think so because Monaco is much longer. I mean, it's a much shorter track, but so that's why the laps are more. So that could be the reason, but I don't think that big of an advantage is going to be seen today.
DJ, yeah, yeah, that's true. I agree with you, but here's where it gets really interesting. We got Oxygen at P6 on 75, Myth P7 at 71, Tarnish 59, Pro Player 58, Motomoto 57, Babaji 56, Black Sheep 40. I think all of these guys are so close together, and it's going to be as tight as the real life midfield battle, right?
Yeah, it's looking very close, and obviously the performances of these cars are equal, so it's all up to the driver.
Absolutely. One person who we are on board with, RB Fidello, has been struggling, missed a bunch of races because of hardware issues with his wheel, but he's back. Promising run in Hungary, but he had a couple of incidents. Do you think we'll be seeing more from him in the upcoming races?
He has had a difficult season so far, hasn't he? Yeah, so he is a promising driver, but he just needs to work on his consistency, and we should see him delivering results.
Last of the battles for the Constructors' Championships, I think Renault's running away right now. They're about 80 points ahead. And Babaji, since he got his wheel fixed, he's been a whole new driver, you could say. And it just looks like the Lewis Hamilton Bottas pairing. And you've got Haas P2, just like the Red Bulls running away. But after that, you've got a bunch of constructors really close together. You've got McLaren at 165, Alpha Tauri at 147, Ferrari at 141, Alpha at 117, and Racing Point at 99. So very tight over
Yeah,
there as well.
it's looking very close right between AlphaTauri and Ferrari.
Oh, Plucker slightly loses his rear over there. Out on softs, interesting, do you think? Or is he just coming out on soft to do his banker laps so that he can save his mediums for the last run?
I don't think he's doing a banker lap right
heats up your tires as you go through the lap. You do struggle with tire temps, and especially when you're following a driver, it becomes really tricky because you're managing dirty air as well.
Yeah. Is that oxygen behind Amit? I'm Amit.
I believe it is oxygen on his out lap, probably trying to get some slipstream on the main straight. But pole time right now is, yeah, go on.
I mean, it's not really worth it on this track. This literally gets more of dirty air.
That's true, I agree with you.
So, you know,
Indeed. So right now we got a pro player with a very late 135, 135.9, and to be honest, I feel like they're definitely capable of going at least a second and a half faster than that.
yeah. So the pole time, the fastest time on this track was Hamilton's time of 2018, which was a 36.0. And to see these guys doing 35s and 34s, that is just insane.
Yep, absolutely. We're on board with eccentric as he rounds about the final corner. Super tricky. You don't want to dab the brakes. Just gonna brake with your engine and a 135.2. Eccentric, since he's joined Tier 1, he's just been really good. He's impressed me so much with his quality, with his racecraft. He's just been super clean and super consistent.
Yep, he's obviously my teammate as well. So if you see the amount of time these guys put into the game, like they practice like all week, they're just on another level.
Yeah, levels of the chart.
Yeah, definitely. What do you guys think the gap from P1 to P16 will be?
For Singapore, it could be greater than other tracks. As Eccentric is just trying to get his car back into the pits. Can we go on board with someone else, please, TJ?
Someone on a hot lap.
Yeah, I think Paso is on a hot lap. 26.1 is a pretty good sector 1 time.
Yeah, this should be able to go. Oh, gets on the corner. Just not too much. You can just go nicely through that. That's an advantage. That's his lap.
That's a good. Do you think we see a lot of overtakes in 13 and
I think
14?
he invalidated on purpose.
Do you believe so?
Yeah, I think he invalidated on purpose just to get another on the spots.
Jump on to Tanish, please, because he just set the fastest sector 1. Other driver who's been started off pretty slow. It looked like he still has a tier 2, how do I say it, nerves, but lately he's been performing really well as you can see the racing point climbing up the Constructors Championship around third.
Nicely done.
Nice and very sensitive. Yep. Another 90-degree, more than a 90-degree of action coming up.
This is one of the most difficult on this track to deal with. You know, final few chickens, as you can say.
Probably where I think we'll see a lot of penalties being handed out. It just feels so easy, but it's just so easy to cut that curve, especially on this game where it's super strict. Very nicely done through 20 and 21, coming through the final corner. Yep, held it really well. 130.028. A very good lap by Tanish. On those mediums.
That's on the mediums. That is amazing lap time.
The if speed list is on the hot lap. Can we switch on telemetry, please, DJ?
Press X. Telemetry and press X again.
So much. Yep, not the best of places to have a car in front of you. There isn't a lot of track to give space. But SD has a lot of experience. He probably knows where to allow the drivers behind to pass. Is he another one? I thought he might have been in the top 3, but then he took a little break from sim racing and he's back now. He still can get into the top 3 if his early season form is anything to go by. Stuck in P5. I think he's about 33 points off, but Maso's been in fabulous form, so it's not going to be easy to catch up to him unless you put in some mega times yourself.
So I think Maso is on his lap now. I think he should be beginning his lap.
So we've still got Mara and Baba, the Renault boys, to go out onto the track. Babaji is now on his hot lap.
He's just about to begin his lap for mediums. Steve is through his lap.
Watching from here is really important. I think 23 you hardly feel it, but 22 is where you go to just about downshift and get your steering back to right. Turns 1, 2, 3, 4, you've just got to flow through. Turn 4 is going to make or break your sector 1 because this traction zone is really important as you head forward because it also allows you to get behind the car in the DRS zone. This is the second DRS zone of the lap as he comes into the memorial corner section. A 90-degree left-hander, pretty easy for these drivers. Coming through turn 8. Very clean as we see pro player going to the 134s on the softs, I believe, from what I've heard in the paddock. Earlier in the race, this is the infamous sling chicane. Now it's just an easy left-hander when compared to the rest of the track. Coming through the infamous bridge section, nice and early on the brake, sacrifice entry. I think he probably left a little. I think he probably had a little oversteer over there. Coming.
He did that on purpose. Just to
Say, but really good through 14, got a really good exit over here. Here's where he invalidated, I think, like you said, on purpose earlier. Now coming through these quick 90-degree turns, you got about 4 or 5 of them. Now we've got to absolutely nail the final turn. Let's see how he takes it. Yep, 610, no brakes, full throttle, secondly. 34.5. Yeah, there's two 100s, yeah. That's incredibly close.
Yeah, to 100. Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. Go ahead. He's invalidated his lap, so I don't think he has enough time to go back into the pits, and he hasn't put a lap. He hasn't had a lap time validated yet.
There's the right now. I think there's still enough time to set one more.
See, satisfied, but I think the man to follow for now as he comes through the final sector on the mediums, which I think is the preferred tire to start on. Unless you're starting P11, then you might want to think about the hards. How long do
Sorry, continue.
you think the softs will last in race sim?
If you have done your quali lap, I think 3 to 4 laps. And if you have not done your quali, then maximum 6 laps, I believe. I'm not really that much, but I understand. Maybe they can have a higher detail.
The detail. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, best first. No, this is out lap. It's not out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you're starting on the softs, you're just praying for a safety car. As soon as the race starts, you're just praying safety car, safety car, safety car. But do you want to take us through this one? won on those mediums, but I don't quite think I've seen any other driver go as close to the walls as he did. I think he used every inch of the track. Smith coming along. I think, yeah, his hot lap now. But I think Mano on those mediums should be very happy. I don't think there's anyone who's going to invalidation and that sends him to the back of the grid. That's a costly invalidation for Smith, who we all know has incredible pace.
Just unlucky. Is anybody else on the
Also invalidated another lap. So that's the bummer for him. Couple right now heading into turn 13. But also with Maru, we saw how close the pit exit is, trying to get every bit of slipstream over there. Yeah. I don't understand either, because anyways going in and out you're going to scrub whatever speed you're going to gain off, or you're probably scrubbing more than you're gaining, so doesn't really make sense.
See, this is the thing with Kapil. Like every time I'm racing against him, he's always done. He gets literally no slipstream out of that, but still he does it.
But if you're going to be watching this afterwards, please do take that's a good lap. I'm pretty sure if it were him, he'd have hoped to start P11 and pick his tires, but nonetheless, P9 on softs, not the worst. But I think Baba also invalidated his lap. Is RB Ferrello on a lap? Can we just quickly go and check? Yep, coming through the final corners has been improving on his sector times. I don't think that was the best line, yeah. P11, I think he'll take it.
Yeah, he's in the like best place in terms of strategy right now.
Strategy to try and take apart from the softs and mediums to distinguish himself. So that'll be interesting to see after the first set of pit stops where he ends up, because we all know he's got the pace. Unfortunate with the invalidations. But SD and Pro Player, we talked about them. I know they're on the source, but at the start of the season, this is what we were so used to watching, both of them starting at the top of the pack.
Yeah. It should have been a battle between Renault and McLaren, but then SD had his, what do you say, hiatus.
Fine, but we still have close to more than 1/3 of the season left. I know it's very hard to catch up the Renault boys now, but I think, in my opinion, if any other team can do it, I think it has to be the McLarens.
Yeah.
They're
I
both
mean,
very,
mathematically,
very
it's still
drivers.
possible. That's all that matters.
Yep. I mean, like, yeah, the McLarens and Trucker and Bristol as well. Haas. Both of them have been phenomenal as well. I think Haas is the only team to have both their drivers win a race.
Has Oxygen won a race?
No, I'm sorry. I, for some reason, thought Bristol was in Haas, but he's in Tori.
Yeah.
Sorry. Very important this period for everyone who started P11 onwards. Everyone's going to dump out fuel and underfuel their cars, aren't they?
Yeah. Because it's easy to it's not as difficult to save fuel on this track.
Yeah. I mean, based on the real life Formula One cars, you're full throttle only for 44% of the track.
Yeah.
And even the straights aren't the longest of straights. So ERS regen is also quite easy. So you can compromise on the fuel aspect.
Yeah. As you said earlier, that I think the only team right now to have both their drivers win a race is McLaren, with Pro P winning in Vietnam and SD winning in Baku.
Baku race was a masterclass. I mean, like,
Yeah,
it was strategy masterclass to go out on those softs in the last lap of safety car with I think like 3 or 4 more laps to go.
yeah.
That was brilliant on his part.
He went on to the softs just after the restart, and it worked out brilliantly. And to say that is an understatement.
Indeed. Masoom coming off, quite frankly, okay, as the drivers now will go out on their formation lap. But Masoom coming from I think it's fair. I think even he might agree that that was probably his race of his life. No mistakes done. A Ferrari masterclass. I know we don't hear that a lot, but no mistakes done in Monza, bringing the prancing horse Scarlet Red onto the top step of the podium. It felt a lot like Charles in 2019. It was just brilliant to watch.
Yeah, and it was wet, so that adds a lot.
Indeed. Wet on the controller with traction control off is quite literally signing up for torture. I don't quite understand, or I can't quite figure out how he does it, but he does do it. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's once even I do it, but it seems difficult. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty bearable.
It's like I feel there's a lot more weaving going on today than in some of our other races. Do you think it's to ensure that the pack doesn't spread out too much, or do you think because tire temps are not a big issue over here, you can get them to temp very quickly in the final sector, but I think
Yeah,
he's
but if you
Mara is
notice
trying
the
to,
soft,
yeah.
yeah,
I was just saying, I think Mara is right now trying to get the pack together so that he does not have to sit on the grid for too long. But while we do that, before you start off, DJ, can we switch on position change and tires, please? So,
in detail.
yep,
Yeah.
and yeah, position change. Yeah, let's just stay at position change. Thank you. And can we have the track map switched on so that we're able to follow?
Again, from spectator menu, you have to switch it on. Ooh.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
have the full track map, please?
The full map.
Full map. Thank you.
Yeah. Ooh.
Engine is running hot.
I think that's just a bug. Oh, there's two of them being disqualified. It's
See
it's
Myth
three
and
actually.
Drizzle. And I think if
Yeah.
Myth and Drizzle are starting on the hard tire, this is going to be a nightmare first lap for them. It's so hard to get temperature and it'll just be so bad off the start.
Yeah. Justin,
We're
take
waiting
us through the
for the
start.
final two cars. Thankfully, they fixed the start. Earlier, it was just an awkward moment before the cars went off. Five, get your revs on and drop the clutch. A good start for both of them, but Mara with a much better start, I think. SD on the outsides, not the best of his starts, but both the McLarens wheel to wheel as they head through the first few corners. So far, we've got, I think, one major loser. We've got Black Sheep losing 3 positions, Tanish losing 4, 5 now. So there has been an incident over there, or he just had to sacrifice himself through that area. But Right now, SD right there with Mara, nothing to separate them, but Pro Player slightly fell off. And also with Prophet and Eccentric Place, there's a battle going on there, exchanging places. As you can see, running wheel to wheel, but Eccentric lost out, I think, on the exit and hit the wall. That was, wait, who was it? That? Oh, that was actually Prophet. Yeah. Yep, and couple and Penelo with mega starts. All three eccentric couple and Penelo with mega starts. Penelo up to 7, couple 6 eccentric at 3 right now. One running low damage. You know, one slight mistake. Oh, I think there was a bit of a crash there. No, I think that's a McLaren. Yeah, that's pro player. That was unfortunate. But Mara's already a second clear of SD. Masoom close to a second clear of him and eccentric below that. But right now we got
How are we on lap 3 already?
yeah, I think it should be lap 2.
Yeah.
Let's hope it fixes itself. We've got a yellow, but I just think it's because of those in the pits right now. So P is coming out. Yep, this is the bug. It's going to take a bit. Yeah. Welcome to Code Masters. Can we go back to Saint Tanish? Not the start he wanted, but he can still redeem himself. He can get something back. Yep, it's still not fixed itself. But that's flying away right now. I think the gap more than 2 seconds. It still says 1.3, but on the track map it looks far larger than that. The gap. So Fluffer did get the move done on Perello. We missed it unfortunately, and now Perello is being hounded by Tanish, who has a slight bit of oversteer, but holds it well. Running wide again. Yep, Perello takes the lead well. Switch off the tires just to have a glimpse of who's running what tires. With right behind Tanish is going to help Perello because now Tanish has to look at his rear mirrors more than what's in front of him. Yep, so we got SD on the softs running P2 like I told you. I think the gap is now close to 3 seconds and he is being hunted down by Masoom. Can we go to, should we sacrifice this battle? Yeah, I think it's fine to sacrifice. Can we go up to Masoom please? He was 3 wide over there, but Masoom I think get the move done now because SD's tires are probably running hot right now. And Masoom will have the DRS and eccentric. We don't want him during falling. Yep, Mick gets the move done on Tanish. Meanwhile, Masoom has a look on the inside. Right on Masoom's gearbox. It'll be really interesting to see who stays on top as we come across the first corner. Still over the first warnings, all that pressure from Tanish makes way for his teammate, I believe. With quite the recovery after not putting in a quali time, but now what we've been waiting to see as they come across DRS open. Can he get the move done? Lost a bit of time in that final sector. We all know how difficult it is to follow a car in the final sector.
If you are within half a second, so much pressure. Mara making
medium runners, I feel. SD has been defending really well, keeping his car in the right place. But further down, we've seen, I think, Tarnish is the first of the soft runners to pit. And meanwhile, we've got Speedless who's DNF. I think that's why we saw the yellow flag near the pit in lap 1. Masoom tries to take a look, but SD is right there, will get DRS again, but incredibly hard. It's hardly a straight. It's this one. But on the outside, we'll have to go all around. But no, SD with really good car placement. This is opening up the door for Eccentric as they come to the final sector where it's incredibly hard. Like we talked about, to stay behind the car in front. Let's see if Masoom can probably keep his car within 3 or 4 tenths. I think he'll be able to get the move done in the second DRS straight. But if he drops down below 5, it'll be incredibly hard.
This is all the while these guys are battling. It's just like in marathon. Remember when I said the gap was 4.5 seconds? Now it's come to 6.3 seconds in just 2 sectors.
So now within 1/10, will be interesting to see how he gets his exit out of turn 4. Good exit on the inside. Has to sacrifice his exit a little to leave SD home.
OSD really struggling on those old softs right now. Masoom and Eccentric both have DRS. SD defending the inside. Masoom tries to go around the outside, but SD just drives short soon later, and then he gets the inside for the next corner as well. Wow.
It's driving by SD over there, still keeping his second position. But based on what you said, I think it's the soft window has started.
He just has one more lap to pit. After that, they're just it's like falling off a cliff.
We've got Trucker who's joined the party as well. The start didn't quite go how he wanted to, but Myth is in the mix as well. SD really holding. The line over here, not quite there yet, but this is helping Mara a lot, and it's also helped the likes of Trucker and Myth to catch up to this pack.
If SD doesn't pit this lap, I think he would need to pit this lap.
Doesn't look like he's heading into the pits. He stays out for another lap. Not quite sure why he's doing that. Meanwhile, Eccentric gets a penalty with all that dirty air on the exit of 23, I believe. Can Masoom get the move done? I'm pretty sure Masoom's getting really frustrated right now because he knows he's got the pace, but SD with quite probably, I think, a phenomenal drive offensively. Masoom will have the inside line now.
Yeah, turns into the inside, gets the move done on STs. I think even Eccentric is gonna make a move, but
See on the inside, wheel to wheel, I think he'll hold position for now. No, Eccentric with all that grip advantage. Yeah, all that grip advantage makes use of it.
Tires are completely dead right now. There's absolutely no use staying out for one more lap.
Say Gono, my tires are Gono. I think we would all have to agree and not complain about him owning.
No, it's definitely more than
Yeah, can we go on board SD to quickly check his tire wear? Yep, close to 63 on the wheels. But over here, unlike other circuits, over here you need that grip. I think the tires follow with him very quickly. It's not about the 70% mark. In a lot of other circuits over here, you really need grip, don't you? Yep, SD going into the pits as Smith tries lining up a move on Trucker. I don't quite think he'll get it done now. Can we go on board and check out tires, please, once again? Myth, interestingly, did start on the mediums. I thought he might have gone for hards. But Babaji on hards, sitting P7. He will come into the race in the final half, don't you think? I think the last 5-6 laps he'll be the one with tire advantage. Myth on the inside, but Crawford just about left a car's width over there, and Myth gets the move. Let's just say he's got very big comodas.
Yes, understand that right there.
That's quite, I mean, like, Crawford also defended very aggressively, but at the last moment, just about left enough room.
Yeah. And now eccentric right on Masoom's gearbox. Ooh, taps him just a tiny bit, but I think that's not too good. Diaz now maybe looking to make a dive. Yes, he does. Yes, he
Also,
inside.
let him take the inside dive.
Just barely avoids the wall.
Incredible move by him, but surprising as to why Masoom did not defend the inside line, because probably Masoom thought he'll be able to switch back, but clearly did not happen, and now it's about eccentric trying to pull a way out of that DRS zone. Myth also catching up quickly right now. Meanwhile, Mara is now 12.5 seconds pretty much away from the pack. He's just driving a lonely race. So meanwhile, no more pro player had to pit again. We saw that he lost a bit of his wing heading into 22 in lap 1, but he's had to pit again. And I think his gauge right now is all about possible safety car. And more importantly, he needs that safety car before Mara overtakes him, because for the last view we saw, Mara was right at his gearbox. Myth on the inside. Musk's Musk left the door open twice now, and both times the drivers behind have punished him. Do you think he's possibly playing the tire management game?
He started on mediums, right? So he's gone for the one stop to the hard. So, and it's only lap 8, yeah. So he might be thinking of like 3 points of custom, which doesn't really make sense, but we'll see how it plays out.
SD clearly gave him a masterclass in defending for the first 6 laps. That was some incredible defense from SD, but Musk played very loose. He's left the door open 2 times, and both times the cars behind have bounced on it, and now Myth quickly
I
from the
think just losing it right there. Just lost the fire.
Myth coming from behind has gained a lot right now, and now he's trying to get to P2. Incredible drive from him so far.
It's
Yep, while we were away from the battle, I think SD pit once again, because it says he's got fresh set of cards. Both the McLaren boys have already pit twice. We got a yellow in sector 3 right now. Drucker gets into the pits.
DJ, if you can reduce the game volume on it. Can go into the pause menu now. Pause. Yeah. Yeah, set it to 6 or 7. Yeah, that's good enough.
So I'm assuming someone on YouTube let us know about that. On now went right on the gearbox of eccentric as they round the final few corners of the track. Coming to 22. It's all about the exit over here. You want to carry maximum speed, get on the throttle as quickly as possible, get slipstream, gets DRS. Will be, I think he's probably trying to save the move for the second DRS zone. The gearbox. Let's see what kind of an exit he gets. Both of them with very good exits. Now the DRS is open again. Uses all of that overtake, all of that battery left. Eccentric does concede the position. And Pitt has made 12 positions from the start of the race. He started P14 and now he's all the way up to P12. That is an incredible drive from him so far.
Yeah.
Oxygen right now, wheel to wheel with Ferrello, gets the move done. Can we go on board Ferrello? Yep. Let's stick to this pack for a while now because Black Sheep is going to try and hunt Ferrello anytime now as well.
Yeah, SD, Prakhar and Tanish are also really close. Black Sheep trying to go around the outside of Ferrello, but he just didn't have the exit speed he needed.
Quickly getting Ferrello anytime now. 6 tenths, but he's got to reduce the gap close to 3 tenths, 4 tenths, and then bank on his TRS.
RB has wing damage. It's a yellow front wing. It shouldn't be that much of a challenge for Black Sheep to get past him.
Let's see if Black Sheep can get it done. Gets the time penalty. These time penalties are going to come into the play, but interestingly, Eccentric and Masoom have gone into the pits. So I think Eccentric is trying to undercut Myth right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Masoom probably had the same idea. Didn't want to lose too much time to Eccentric. Ferrello for now still keeping Black Sheep behind him. But for how long? As they come wheel to wheel, Ferrello will have the inside line, but Black Sheep, the better exit, gets the move done right about around the apex. And I think now Black Sheep is going to pull away slightly. Masoom comes out of the pits ahead of Eccentric. Okay, Eccentric is quickly losing positions. Can we go on board Eccentric, please? Down, further down. Yep. Down. 12. Yeah, I have.
Oh, he has disconnected, I believe.
It's super unfortunate. I hope Harry is sending him an invite as quickly as possible, but he was driving incredibly well, and let's hope that he is able to rejoin. But now it's going to be interesting about how long Myth and Mara stay out. I think Mara is definitely not going to get undercut by any means given the gap he has. But now it's all about Masoom and Myth, where Myth comes out once he pits. And Masoom has a fair bit of good track as well. But he's quickly catching on to Ferrello, who should be heading into the pits anytime now as well. So if it were you, would you get your wing changed if you were RB Ferrello, or would you prefer to save those 3, 4 seconds?
I would get my wing changed if I was going for a pit stop because this is a track which demands downforce, so there's no use just staying out with a broken wing.
When you come out of hearts which offer lesser grip, the downforce becomes all the more important.
Yeah, exactly. I believe Eccentric has joined back and he has taken control of his car, so that was a bit disappointing.
He's
he was
lost.
Up in the lead.
Lost. Indeed. He's lost almost like 18 seconds to Masoom. So
yeah,
that's super unfortunate for him. But Trucker right now on the gearbox of SD, who had a phenomenal first few laps, but since then it's just been downhill for him.
Yeah, it just shows how bad these softs are on this track. And Prakhar is right on the tail of SD. If we can go on board P9.
We are on board, Trucker.
No, we are on board Eccentric. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is Prakhar. Yeah,
See?
sorry, my bad.
Oxygen picks up a penalty. Quite a few drivers picking up penalties. The Renault boys and No More are the only drivers who are yet to pick up a penalty. And Trucker, if you're going to be watching this afterwards, please make your telemetry public so that we know how your tires are doing right now. Masoom gets another place because Casey's gone back into the pits. Trucker, will he get the move done on SD into turn one? Sends it. Yep, absolutely.
Sends it,
SD leaves pits.
pushes SD off the
Ooh.
track.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what SD feels about that. If Masoom gets the move done on Black Sheep.
Yeah, now
Yeah, I
SD
believe
has the DRS.
As he thinks about sending it, then thinks the better of it. I don't quite think he had the move over there. But Masoom's up quickly pulling ahead. He's had the aid of DRS these last few laps, and Mitch probably should be worried. Do you think? What's the pit stop around here?
I think it's around 25 seconds.
Yeah. So right now, Masoom's not doing so bad. He's 28 seconds, 29 seconds behind. Mara decides to pit. Let's see where he comes out. Not going to matter a lot, but just about if he's comes out into traffic, how he deals with it. Now Masoom lining up a move on Oxygen. I don't quite think he get it done now. It's DRS. Does try staying to the inside, but opts out. Probably will save it for the next DRS trade. Nice line through turn 4. As you saw, Oxygen took that curve, unsettled his car, compromised his exit, and Masoom had to go on the brakes a bit so that he does not collide with Oxygen. So that was a bummer for Masoom as they come around now again. Masoom using all of his battery. Gets the move done. Now it's all about trying to get into the pit window of Myth. Continuing to stay out on track. Can we go on board Myth, please, to check out how his tires are doing?
I think he has nothing to lose right now. He's just trying the overcut.
Possibly. And if he's not coming out too far behind Masoom, we've seen that he has the pit. Ooh! Almost loses it there. And as soon as that happened, he decided, okay, you know what? I think that's the game asking me. That's my tires asking me to head into pits, and he does. Can we stay on board with Masoom, please, to see where Myth comes out if he does come out in front of him?
I think Myth is going to come out ahead of Masoom. Much ahead.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come out just behind Mara.
Not just behind Mara.
Yeah.
A fair bit.
4 point. Yeah.
It's going to increase, but let's see. Masoom gets a move done on Baba, who heads into the pits. But yeah, the undercut clearly did not work. If at all, Myths built the gap by about a second and a half. And now he's going to have fresher tires towards the end of the race as well. We've got a yellow in sector 1. We do have an incident. Ooh, that is Black Sheep. Who's... Ooh, that's...
Oh, that's a VSC.
It's
That's
probably...
helped,
I think it's helped Baba, who's in the pits when the VSC came out. RV heads into the pits again. Yeah, I don't quite think it's helped anyone up top. It's probably helped Baba, who will get the move done on Black Sheep. I think Black Sheep has to pit for a new... Oh, Casey gets a 5 second for ignoring yellow flags.
Yes.
We're back.
Yeah, back to green flags. And Mara with a 12-second lead over Myth, and right behind him is Masoom Oxygen. But Has oxygen stopped? I mean,
Start backing up to let Baba overtake him. But we've got a Red Bull.
that's
It's
so
Russell
mandatory.
who loses it. Yep, front left wing damage, has to head into the pits. I think that's close to orange damage. Like we talked
Yeah.
about, this is full damage. If they were running low, you just get an end plate, but with full damage, you are going to pay the price. And that is couple, I believe, on the inside thinks about it. Black Sheep is still keeping it in front with no wing, but will get overtaken by both the cars. Oh, did Black Sheep lose it again over there? Yep,
Yeah,
I
I think
think
his wing
Black Sheep
damage
lost it
just.
again. Yeah. But he will be heading into the pits now. And I think that's race over unless there's a safety car.
If Amit will be praying for. Oh, eccentric loses a bit of his front wing.
Yep, I think Eccentric right now is driving a frustrated driver's race, getting disconnected when you're running P2, P3, P4, depending on how the race would have panned out. So he's obviously trying to push the car, and that hasn't worked out very well. And I believe it's Rissel who's gone into the pits and retired.
Yeah.
That's why we've got a yellow in sector 1. Mara now setting the fastest laps. We know how competitive he is. He wants that. He wants every extra point he can get.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amit
Myth
is.
replies right back. Yeah, Myth
Yeah.
is catching Mara as we saw. He did set a quicker lap, so he is catching Mara. The gap from 12 and a half is now down to 11 seconds. Meanwhile, on board with Couple, who is trying to get the move done on Eccentric.
Eccentric had passed him and then he got wing damage, so he's right now slower than Kapil. I think Eccentric should just hit now and go on to the mediums. Yeah.
He does decide to do that. Frustrating race, I'm sure, for Eccentric. But let's hope either something changes dramatically today or he just has a better race coming weekend.
Yeah.
SD not too shabby on the compromise strategy, running P6 right now. Hunting oxygen. I mean, all of these drivers are not necessarily spaced out a lot. Those penalties could matter when it comes to the checkered flag.
Yeah. It's SD is okay.
So we're close to reaching 60% of the race, and
Yeah. Can
we've
we
lost.
switch on board to the tire detail, DJ?
Lost 2 cars so far. We've lost a bunch of front wings. So before we talk about this race further, all the best for you for tomorrow. And let's not to jinx, but let's hope you keep your front wing for the whole race. Don't do it, please.
It's Singapore plus it's tier 2.
See, running P5 right now, 5 seconds behind Trucker, but on an older set of cards. So let's see.
Saying, Amit is just praying for a safety car right now. It's gonna help him out a lot.
Absolutely. And as we come towards the closing stages of the race, fatigue does set in to a lot of these drivers. You start making tiny mistakes and oh, that's Casey. Oh no, that's Babaji on the outside of Casey. Brilliant move over there. On the outside, not the easiest thing to do. But shows those mediums.
Just enough space to make the corner.
had the tire advantage as well, starting on hards.
Yeah.
Tarnish, we can see trying to catch up ahead, but Tarnish is the one now putting SD under pressure. Has a slightly older tires, but doesn't look like it's affecting him a lot. But Myth is cutting down a chunk of time on Mara every time they go around the track. Every time they go around the start-finish straight, he's closing down by about 4 to 5 tenths a lap.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the next 2 laps are all about trying to stay behind SD, recharge those batteries, and then
go on board oxygen in P10. He seems to be just behind Kapil.
yep,
Yeah, oxygen on fresh mediums and Kapil on 10 lap old hards. Will he make a move into turn 1? I don't think he's. I think he's just a bit too far back.
TRS zone.
Yeah, I mean, in
Heading
the
into-
second back straight, he might go for it again.
Yep, into Memorial corner. I think he could get the move done. He could send it down the inside. Let's see how Couple defends.
He has plenty
Not-
of ERS and DRS, so I don't think this should be too difficult. But Kapil is putting up a challenge. And he sends one down the inside, but goes wide, takes Kapil wide with him. Now Kapil has the inside line for the next corner, and he manages to keep the position.
But I don't know why Oxygen did not engage the overtake button.
He was on the overtake button, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. He never engaged the overtake button. The depletion was just normal depletion because you're full throttle.
Who
on the
sends one down
outside,
the
thinks
outside,
about it.
tries to switch back, but Kapil's car was there in the way. Now he has overtake. He's trying to go around the outside over here, which most of the time it isn't a good idea. Oh, Kapil just banging wheels with the house of oxygen.
Enough space, Oxygen gets the move done, but in front of him there aren't many in a close enough vicinity. But Tanish still sticking behind SD within a second. Eccentric is probably going to be trying to line up a move on Ferrello soon. Yep, can we go on board Eccentric, please?
It's just gone from bad to worse this race for him. Look at the amount
Start
of
as well.
lockups in the track over there.
Ooh, on the inside, I'm not quite sure if that was the most.
I think
that was a smart
that was his only place to go because I think RB just braked too early over there and he had to avoid him. And that's another wing gone for Eccentric.
Eccentric swing. I think Eccentric's mediums just ran out.
No, that's a bug. He was on the hards and he went. The mediums are actually new.
All right. But on board Tanish right now, he's not quite recharged his battery enough. I think he's trying to use that ERS to stay within a second of SD, and we've seen how difficult it is to overtake SD. For the first 6
Yeah.
laps, I think that was probably the best defense we've seen. Meanwhile, we've got a
flag in
yellow.
sector 2. I think it's
That-
Kapil.
Yeah, that is a Red Bull, and that is Couple's Red Bull. Front right.
Yep, he does have brain damage on his front right, yes.
It now has cut the gap to close to 9 seconds. So
Yeah, but
with,
he also has 6 seconds of penalty, so even if he passes Mara, he needs to build a 6-second gap, which isn't looking too
yeah,
easy right now.
he's got 10 more laps only.
Yeah.
SD giving a defensive masterclass to Tanish. He was teaching Masoom, but Masoom wasn't quite the best of students based upon how he led people by. But do you think Masoom realized that Myth had much more pace and didn't want to battle with him and lose out like SD might have done? both of these cars are ghosted. So can we move on to another driver, please, DJ? Yep, I think this is the only battle we are seeing right now. 5 tenths, no ERS right now with Tanish. Most of the grid is evened out in penalties apart from Casey and Oxygen, who are running 14 and 11 seconds respectively. One of the Red Bulls we saw did get a time penalty during safety car, so that's a 5 second, which they may or may not be able to remove. Up front, I think it's race over for now unless the safety car comes. Even if a safety car, it's incredibly hard to make up a 9 second deficit. It's still within the DRS zone. Still has 9 laps to try and get pieced together a few good laps, get within 2 tenths and then send it around somewhere, but not anywhere right now. Both of them even on penalties as well, so it's not going to affect any of the positions. If from P3, all of them with 6 second time penalties, if Babaji can try and close the gap, he could get a jump or two. Managed 5 tenths now, but Sector 2, the second half of Sector 2 and Sector 3, it's just so hard to follow a car behind. Your tires are overheating. You don't want to be on rich fuel mixture through here. As he takes a lot of that curve, Tanish with a slightly better exit over there. Both of them run a bit of the curve on the inside, which does unsettle your car. That gives you a much better line. AC with another time penalty. These two have been putting very, very identical lap times right now. Yellow in Sector 2 and we have a safety car. Oof. Can we, where is, okay, can we quickly, okay, let's stay on board with Tanish and hope that the car isn't cleared by then. Let's see what happened to Casey. Please, Codys, do not clear the car. Oops, just about saw a glimpse of it around there. Probably lost it on the exit, oversteer, lost his rear end into the wall, but Mara isn't going to be too bothered about this. He's got no penalties and Myth has 9, but this brings in the likes of Masoom back into the hunt, because we all know how game aware Masoom is. His game sense is incredibly high, and we just got to know that Harry is his race engineer as well today. So Harry is going to be telling him that, look, Myth has 3 second time penalty. All you got to do is stay within 3 seconds and you'll get the jump on him. But yeah, Madhav, did you catch that, or do you want me to let you know what happened? A late safety car.
Yeah, I was watching. I was just on a call. Sorry.
Yep, so that was couple who lost a drive-through for Casey, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
Just when you thought maybe you'll be able to extract more from this race. But can we quickly go on board tires? SD deciding to pit, so is Tanish.
Everyone's probably going on to the mediums right now.
I think everyone, oh yeah, everyone is. Mada decides to pit, Myth decides to pit, and yeah, they're all going for the softs. They reckon we'll have another lap or two of safety car, right? So
Oh yeah. So
just about enough for the softs to last.
yeah.
Because the pack is pretty spread out as well, and we still have some drivers heading into the pits, so probably a lap for the pit stops and then a lap or two for them to catch up to the lead pack.
This has literally turned into a 5-lap race at the end right now.
not necessarily given the penalties, but Babaji is sitting very smug at P4. Couldn't pit because I think he had the gap behind Mara to pit, but I think he decided not to pit, hold track position. We have seen that it isn't easy to overtake, and he does know that he does not have time penalties. So
Yeah. So right now, both the runners don't have any time penalties, and if Baba can just stay behind Masoom and Myth and hold off Prakar, he should be looking for a P2 finish right now.
Asum and Myth, we've seen the pace both of them possess, but it's I think it's definitely worth the shot. I think rather than pitting, I think it's worth the gamble to finish on the podium. If he does get on the podium, that's definitely one of the questions we will be asking him. But let's see, we've still got a couple of runners to the end of the field. Thankfully, no one got lapped, so everyone still stands a chance.
Yeah.
Tanish with a penalty during safety car, that's not going to help his case by any means. On the mediums, so Tanish decided to go on the mediums. Do you believe that's because he did not have a fresh set of sauce? Or does he back the mediums more than the sauce?
I think mediums. I think some of them will be going on the mediums because towards the end, the mediums are definitely going to be faster because the softs will be reaching its at the end of its life again.
Yeah. No more pro player did not pit. He is on 17 lap old hards. Not quite sure why, because he definitely has more than a pit window on the car behind. Should have pit, I believe.
Yeah.
We've lost 3 drivers so far. We've still got a restart left. We all know how, as the race progresses, the sends become more desperate.
Yeah, definitely.
But Masoom is probably the happiest with the safety car because he does have 3 seconds lesser in time penalty to Myth. And if he can pull away from Baba, maybe. But again, like I think Masoom has 6 seconds, so it's going to be incredibly hard to pull a 6 second gap on Babaji right now.
Yeah. Uh, isn't looking that good. I don't think he'll be able to pull off a 6 second gap in like what,
5
6
laps,
laps?
less 5
Yeah.
laps, I believe. We've got 6 laps to go now, and I think as they round about the corner now, it should let us know if the safety car is coming in this lap, but doesn't look like it for now. Oof. So we've got an other lap safety car. So we'll have 4 laps to the finish. All the drivers weaving to ensure that the tires are in temperature. Both the Mercedes weaving in sync for a while over there.
Yeah. And
Safety car should come in now.
yeah.
predictions, please. Let's just see who are the biggest winners and losers of the race so far.
So
I think Myth is clearly the biggest winner so far.
yeah,
Safety car is
Babaji
coming
is
in the.
still on those 10-lap old mediums. Why?
Yeah, we talked about it. He's got 4 laps. He knows that it's incredibly hard to pull off a 6-second gap, and it just made
Yeah.
sense to gain track position. Similar to, I think, what happened in Imola, where Checo went into the pits, but who was it? I think, was it Ricardo?
Prakhar and ST. Prakhar has a stop-go penalty, and so does ST.
Yeah.
So this is gonna help Babaji a lot. He just has to hold back Tanish now.
And Tanish has to get past 2 medium runners, which isn't going to be get past 2 soft runners. But yeah, let's stay on board with mid. Can we go on board, please? Okay, no, let's stay here. Mara, as usual, acing his start. Black Sheep with an other penalty. Oh, Casey gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That Casey retires in the pits. So that's Casey's race. We've lost another runner. Can we switch on interval, please? Masoom has fallen behind quite a lot, but Trucker, can we go on board Trucker? Ooh, Tanish loses it, or I think he was.
Oh,
I think there was an incident over there, and Tanish was pushed out onto the wall. That's unfortunate for him. Tanish retires. Could get a penalty for retiring on track, I believe, but quite unfortunate what happened over there. Baba now needs to stay within 6 seconds of mid. Ooh, safety comes out. Do you think Trucker got the move done before to get the penalty for a collision with Babaji? But I think that could be reversed.
yeah, I think even Babaji has got the same penalty right now.
It's very unfortunate for Babaji unless he can get it
Does
reversed.
Babaji have damage? Can we go on board him?
So
Maybe
no
like
damage. Yeah, no damage, but Myth is, I think, out of the 6-second window right now with respect to Babaji. Assuming Babaji gets this 5-second penalty removed, and I'm pretty sure Babaji might make a case for Trucker overtaking under VSC. But then again, on Trucker's side, I just felt like he'd already sent it, and you can't back out mid move, right?
No, it's
Oh, this is going to cost if he gets a penalty. But no, Oxygen and Black Sheep get a drive-through penalty, which is their race over. I think Oxygen, that's going to send him out of the top 10.
and
Again, let's see how this goes. Babaji clearly out of the 6-second window. Should be really frustrated. Ooh, loses the rear.
Baba
Or I
gets
think he was.
attacked from behind.
Yeah, that was Oxygen who also reset to track. So that's just going from bad to worse for him.
Yeah.
And Oxygen, I don't understand. He has a drive-through penalty. Why would you still try to make a move? But
I don't know.
some people just like to feel like penalties are not a part of your race. But I strongly believe that at the end of the day, you picked up a penalty for something done on track. So it makes no sense to spoil someone else's race or potentially compromise someone else's race when you know you're not battling them for position.
Yeah. But this is racing. It happens.
Oh, that's going to be costly.
Definitely has damage right now.
Yep.
You can see
So,
He got damaged just before DRS was enabled.
It's the fastest lap. Now on to P4. So we talked about Masoom has 3 seconds lesser in penalties when compared to Myth. So Masoom's race right now is to try to stay within the 3-second window. This collision that Myth had might possibly enable Masoom to do that.
Yeah.
But interestingly,
So-
all of the safety cars, the virtual safety cars, out of nowhere, SD Nomo Pro player is up to P5. We saw that he'd had to pit twice in the first 10 laps, but all of this has enabled him to get up to P5. That's incredible, in my opinion.
Prakhar might be on for a podium right now after penalties.
He's more time penalties than Masoom.
Can we see the penalties, DJ? Detail. Yeah. Oh, Prakhar has 16 seconds.
Now,
No
Myth has
chance.
12. Yeah, Myth has
Yeah.
12. He just picked up another 3-second recently, but SC has
Propi
14.
has
So
Propi has only 3 seconds, so he also might be. I think he's on for a podium right now. Propi.
on. Oh yeah. I think if he can keep it clean for the next one lap, maybe gain some time, he could, and that would be an incredible race to lose it in the first lap, but get back onto the podium. That'd be incredible if that were to happen. But right now we are on board with Masoom has the DRS on Myth, who is struggling himself because of that wing damage he picked up.
Yeah. So we have 5 DNFs so far in this race, and we are on the penultimate lap right now.
Black Sheep has a drive-through, and I don't think he served it yet.
I think he's.
Ooh,
Masoom, no!
oh no.
Masoom loses it and he breaks his own wing and breaks Prakhar's wing as well.
Stop before
This-
making contact.
No, he
now-
definitely has wing damage.
Now Nomo is on pace for a podium.
P2.
Can we go on board Prakhar, please, and stay on cinematic? Can you shift to cinematic view, please?
He definitely has damage. Front
He
left
does
is gone.
End right. Okay, front left, no end plates. Oh, that was very uncharacteristic of Masoom, but we talked about it. Fatigue does set in, and probably just one of those moments. I just hope
get
the.
Prakhar in the
no.
hole. People are just getting out of the way for Propi right now.
It's like everything in the last 10 laps, everything's just been happening just to ensure that Propi is back up top.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Propi just
And
needs to stay within 9 seconds of Amit. Is 9.5 right now. If he can catch up to within 9 seconds, he's got a second place finish.
McLaren team radio right now is scenario 7. Press overtake, 3 seconds. This is going to go down to the wire. Not quite. He has about a second to make up right now.
We've got. I think Amit is just too fast and he's pulling away.
We could
I
have
don't
used
think he's
some more of
realized
his
it.
DRS.
I don't think Propi has realized that he needs to push.
Or maybe Propi is just like, you know what? One lap in, I would have bitten your hand off for a podium finish. I don't want to push and make errors like Masoom and some of the others have done. So I'm just content with P3. That might be what he's thinking as well.
Yeah, and really good showing from Babaji and Propi, also SD, but SD he has 14 seconds of penalty. I think he's
not
just
done
might
yet.
lose P5.
3 tenths. Propi still has
2 tenths, come
couple
on.
more corners. Needs to
Two
send it
tenths.
full sell.
Still two
Final
tenths.
corner.
One and a
One
half.
tenth.
One tenth.
A tenth.
A tenth.
Half a tenth. Will he be able to
Oh,
get it? Oh,
he does
yes!
it. He
Oh
does
my
it.
God!
He does it.
Jesus! That
What a mad lad.
say not lost for words often, but boy, oh boy, am I
What
lost
a
now.
brilliant show.
Oh, that was incredible over there by Propi to get back to P2 where I believe he started his race. Oh, we've got Black Sheep who's lost his car again after the finish line.
That's after the flag, yeah, doesn't matter.
Yep.
But
RB
boy, oh
picks up.
boy,
Oh,
what a drive from Proprian. To see that under these fireworks is just amazing.
oh. I honestly have goosebumps right now. The way
Yeah.
he pushed in the final sector, I think that's where Amit struggled a lot because of his wing damage, and Propi absolutely sent it. Scenario 7, overtake
Yeah,
button,
the
everything in
last lap
effect.
land is the last lap land of Singapore.
Yep, incredible over there, but quite a few people
Would it
will
have
be
been,
super
wouldn't it
disappointed with
have
the
been
race.
amazing if he got the fastest lap as well?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he'd be very content with the 18 points he's getting right now. Eccentric comes out to finish our race. Oh, what a race! We will soon be talking to the podium finishers. The
Yeah.
last, we thought it's just going to be 4 seconds at the end, but 4 laps at the end. But we saw more in those 4 laps than the rest of the race put together. Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Now we're waiting for our podium finishers to come on board. We have Myth right now with us, but before we start the questions, let's just wait for Mara and Last Lap Pro P to join us over here as well.
Yeah. We have Propi with us right now, and we're just waiting on Mara.
But I mean, before, I mean, it's okay. I can't hold it anymore. First, no more pro player. Did you know you had to get within 9 seconds heading into that final lap?
Yeah, so basically, Kapil, he retired, and since he was in the same VC as us, he was like our race engineer. So you remember after the bridge, he told me that I'm 9.9 seconds behind the bet. So I'm like, that's not gonna happen. This is the last lap, last sector. How can I get like 0.9 second? Then I remembered that I had 80% ERS. I just used ERS even in the final corner, where you have a lot of chance of slipping. I was like, it's now or never. I was 9.2 down. So I was like, I just need point 0.2. I used full ERS in that corner. It was lucky that I did not slip off there, but that only got me the zero point 0.4 seconds, just that. And that made me like, above myth.
Saw that,
Yeah, we were counting down the tenths in the commentary box. We were going absolutely mad in here.
but
Yeah.
now let's talk to the one who lost out P2 because of that final stand, scenario 7, if you could. Myth, did you know about the penalties?
Yeah, so first of all, good job by Adil and Nomo Propi. Yeah, I think they drove really well and they deserve one too. And coming to that last part, I did have front wing damage, and although I was able to maintain it for a bit at the last sector or something, I think Mara started slowing down. Got a bit distracted by that and lost around like a bit of time there. But either way, I think Propi would have gotten considering the damage in my wing. So about that, yeah, I'm not disappointed, but not. I mean, because I got so many penalties and those two didn't get one, so I think they deserve it more.
Yep. So before we head to the race winner, both of you, first we'll hear from Pro Player and then we'll talk to you, Amit. Both of you at the end, I mean, Amit started off from the back of the pack and he went up to the start. And Pro Player, we saw what happened. at the end of lap one, and then I think you lost it again around lap seven,
Yes.
and you had to pit again. The last 15 laps or the last 10 laps were built. Everyone were making mistakes. It looked like the universe wanted you to.
Yeah, I would not lie if I'm telling that I had the Hamilton luck there, because I remember in lap 10 or 11, Mara was right behind me and I got blue flags and I lifted up on the long straight to let him by. And at that point, I had no hope that I'm ever gonna be even in the points, because I was like 30 seconds behind the guy ahead of me. But then Kapil caused a safety car, and then I had some hope, and then literally pairs were taking each other out. So I think Masum and Prakhar had incident. Those two were out. Then Baba and Oxygen had an incident. Those two went out. Then the Real SD and Tanish had incident. Those two went out. So literally six people ahead of me just left like that only.
Yep, absolutely. Amit, you, I know, frustrating quali. You had the pace, you were setting purple sectors, but invalidating your lap somewhere in sector two, I believe. Was that the same corner that caught you out multiple times?
Actually, the whole race was like that. It was just such an annoying race, and yeah, in quali, I knew I had pace to do like low 33s on mediums, and unfortunately, I invalidated in the third corner. I think just taking a bit of too much curb on the inside, and that caused me to invalidate. So that was unfortunate, but I was still like looking forward to a fun race starting from the back, because I knew I had really good pace here in Singapore, which is my favorite track. And I thought even if I start at the back, I could have the pace to try and challenge for podium. And unfortunately, there were just so many battles in the start, and everyone was just holding each other up, and like Adil was just getting away so easily, and I was pretty much losing 3 to 4 seconds a lap, just stuck behind those battles. But once I got into clean air, I think I was doing pretty well. It was just tough to get into a rhythm, and I think that led to the penalties, because every time I got into like a small rhythm, someone would come, and again I would unfortunately lose my rhythm and get penalties and stuff like that. But once I was in second place, I think I caught around 6 seconds to Mara, and obviously after that the safety car happened, and by that time I already had a lot of penalties, and I was just thinking that maybe if I could get P1 on track, that would be pretty good. And unfortunately, again, I was just too close to the rear wing of Mara in the last sector, and just had a moment and hit the wall. But once I was in second
Saw
place,
that.
I think
But
I caught
now heading into,
around six
let's talk to
seconds to
our
Mara,
race leader for a
and
bit. Much
obviously
like
after that the
the lack
safety
of
car
questions I
happened.
have for you, that was mostly because you just had a boring race for most part. SD really held up the rest of the field on those softs, but you started on pole, led I think every lap but two, because you pitted a couple of laps before Amit, and you got the fastest lap. So your thoughts on the race,
My
Adil?
teammates
Well,
as well.
well,
So
I first of all, congratulations. I think Amit
if you
is
see
hands
the
down the
amount of
best driver I know
guys
personally, and
taking
any
part in
any
the track
any
is like
finish
all big
above him is awesome. So I know he started
engineers
from the back, still gave me a
as
bit of a
well,
fight.
and
To be honest, it was a bit of a Sunday drive for me. Like you said, it was a boring race. I did get into a rhythm, and it was a very slow rhythm because
probably
all I
yes,
knew I
because
needed to
it's
do was
the
just keep the car on track. I didn't even have to push at all. So I was doing one slow lap, one push lap, two slow laps, one push lap. You know how it is. So I was just sort of settled
Yep.
down
So
in my rhythm. I
Lewis
was very calm
once
about the
said
race. I
that
knew that
one
it
lap of
was a bit of a
Singapore
Sunday drive for me, so I
drains
didn't need
as
to
much as
push
two
at
laps.
all.
And
Coming on
stay
to
on
the
cinematic.
after the safety car,
Can you shift
I
to
knew I
cinematic?
wanted to keep mid close to me. I think I pretty much knew that both of us would be he would probably have the measure of me on the softs, maybe, I don't know. um, I was hoping that I had the outright pace, but either way I kept him close to my rear wing. I slowed down a bit on the in the heavy dirty air zones because I knew that if I got a better exit, that's all that mattered, because the straights were too short. So that's basically what I was doing. Unfortunately, he got damaged. I realized he got damaged, and I felt pretty bad about that. But either way, I think coming from the back to P3, congratulations, Amit. And Propi, I've said this on numerous occasions. You're one of the smoothest drivers in IRC, and I think Singapore, as it stands, suits you quite a bit. So I totally expected you on this podium.
It actually took me a couple of laps to get used to the track, and that's why I had so many incidents in the beginning. But once like some 10 laps went by, I got used to it, and then I did not even touch a wall after that. So only that part, the initial laps got some time.
Yeah, it may be a surprise for you. It's not a surprise for me that you're on the podium today. Good job. Good, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
But I think I've got one final question before we up the floor. So you, Eccentric and Masoom were really close to each other when you guys entered the pit window, and Eccentric and Masoom went in at the same time. They were both about a second and a half behind you. Were you worried about the undercut at all? Hello, did I lose you guys?
Was that
Uh,
question for me?
Yeah, Amit. Amit, it's for you. Are you here?
I thought it was for Pro.
yeah,
No,
I
it was
thought
for
it was
you.
for Mera.
Yeah, tell me, can I hear it again? Is it about the guys behind me undercutting?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You decided to stay out for the longest on the mediums. Any thought behind it, or did you just feel like you were getting enough grip to extract some more?
Yeah, so basically, I had no idea that the guys behind me pitted. I was just focusing up ahead rather than behind, and I didn't really realize that they pitted. And my thought process was just that if I extended my medium stint, and I actually had pretty good pace on the mediums because I was stuck behind everyone for quite a while, and due to that, I think my tires were in a bit better shape because we were going that much slower. And due to that, I just wanted to gamble and try going a bit longer and also hoping for a safety car in that time. But I saw, I think Mara was closing down quite a bit with new hards in the out lap, so I just decided to pit at the end.
Yeah, that was the only lap in the entire race that I had to push. I saw that. I saw that you. I was a little nervous about the safety car, so I just pushed that one out lap, and then luckily you pitted. So after that, it resumed.
Yeah.
So anyone else has any questions?
How did you?
No, I think we've pretty much covered.
How did you guys enjoy the race?
For me, it was.
That
I
was
think we saw a lot at the start of the race. To quickly recap, SD with some masterclass defending, Masoom with some super loose defending, and then everyone just decided to go haywire after the safety car. Everyone kept sending it, and then Pro P's final sector is probably the highlight of the season for me so far.
Yeah, usually Singapore is a boring ending, but I'm glad that this one was a bit more exciting.
Yeah, I think watching the race will have a lot of fun as well.
I
But
think you guys should watch the stream back again. The last few laps were just mad.
Yep. And before the commentators close out, I just want to say that the IRC boys over here, including Pro P and Myth, would be representing IRC in on Sunday in the that is tomorrow in the upcoming event partnered with BRL. So we're going to have an IRC team comprising of the entire podium plus 7 other drivers. So do tune in for that. That will be live on our YouTube channel as well.
at 4:30 p.m. I am definitely forward to it, and I'm pretty sure IRC, BRL, and every race enthusiast is looking forward to that as well. But apart from that, we also have the Tier 2 race. I think it'll be after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So do tune in for that to see some more madness under lights at Singapore. But that's about it. I'd like to thank Shalala Madhav for giving me company and wish him all the best for his race tomorrow. And DJ for doing a phenomenal job. For the first time he's streaming. So thank you so much, mate. And again, everyone at IRC, everyone who's spending so much time on getting the telemetry set up, getting everything fixed just about right. Thank you all so much. Have a good night.
Yep. Good night.
Good night,
Bye.
guys. Thank you.